The share market is a fickle beast. Some years it roars with growth like a tiger in its prime. Other years it slumbers, leaving investors feeling a bit restless. 2024 has been a year of gains, a time for celebration for many. But as we stand on the cusp of 2025, the big question looms: large boom or bust? No one has a crystal ball, but by examining the whispers of experts and the undercurrents of the global economy, we can at least try to chart a course through the exciting and perhaps daunting year ahead. The truth is, predicting the stock market is a fool's errand. It's like trying to predict the weather a year in advance. Possible to guess at trends, but impossible to be entirely accurate. Yet we crave that foresight, that ability to see into the future and make decisions that will bring us financial security. So let's delve into the world of predictions, keeping in mind that these are just educated guesses, not guarantees. When it comes to the stock market, everyone has an opinion. Some experts, the eternal optimists, are predicting a bull run, a time of soaring prices and happy investors. Fundstrat, for instance, is feeling bullish, projecting the S&P 500 to reach a hefty 6,600 by the end of 2025. That's a whole lot of potential growth. Goldman Sachs, a name synonymous with finance, is a bit more cautious but still optimistic, forecasting the S&P 500 to hit 6,500. They see earnings growing, a good sign for investors. But hold on, don't start celebrating just yet. Not everyone shares this rosy outlook. Some experts, the cautious bears among us, are urging restraint, advising investors to temper their expectations. Stifel, for example, is sounding a note of caution, predicting the S&P 500 will hover around the mid-5,000s. They see inflation and sluggish economic growth as potential party poopers. So, who's right? The optimists or the pessimists? The truth, as always, lies somewhere in the murky middle. It's important to remember that these are just predictions, educated guesses based on current data and historical trends. The market could soar, it could stumble, or it could simply plod along. The stock market doesn't exist in a vacuum. It's influenced by a complex interplay of factors, both domestic and global, that can send it soaring to new heights or tumbling down like a house of cards. One of the biggest drivers, of course, is economic growth. A strong economy with businesses thriving and consumers spending is like rocket fuel for the stock market. Right now, the US economy is chugging along, but experts are divided on whether this growth will continue. Inflation, that pesky rise in prices, is another key factor to watch. High inflation eats into corporate profits and makes investors nervous. The Federal Reserve has been trying to tame inflation with interest rate hikes, but it's a delicate balancing act. Too much tightening and the economy could stall. Then there are the global headwinds. The war in Ukraine, tensions in the South China Sea, and the ongoing energy crisis are all casting a shadow of uncertainty over the global economy. Add to that the new US administration's policies, which could have ripple effects across the world, and you have a recipe for volatility. Section 4. Navigating the terrain investment strategies for 2025. So, given all this uncertainty, what's an investor to do? The key, as always, is to stay calm and stick to the fundamentals. Don't panic and make rash decisions based on fear or greed. Instead, focus on building a diversified portfolio that aligns with your risk tolerance and long-term goals. One strategy to consider is diversifying across different asset classes. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, as the saying goes. Spread your investments across stocks, bonds, and maybe even some alternative assets like real estate or commodities. Another approach is to look for value stocks. These are companies that are undervalued by the market and have the potential to grow. Think of it as finding hidden gems that others have overlooked. And then there's the world of alternative assets. Bitcoin, the original cryptocurrency, has been making headlines lately. Some experts believe it could reach astronomical heights in the coming years, while others remain skeptical. Section 5. Conclusion. The only certainty is uncertainty. The year 2025 promises to be an exciting ride for investors. There are opportunities for growth, but also risks to be aware of. The key is to stay informed, be prepared for volatility, and make decisions based on your own individual circumstances. Remember, the only certainty in the stock market is uncertainty. But by investing wisely and staying the course, you can weather the storms and come out ahead in the long run.